Hello dear all, you are welcome to SSB Pharma Learning Channel. I Dr. Shamsher Singh today will discuss with you about GPAT questions, that is the next series on SSB Pharma Learning Channel. Hope you are liking, subscribing and watching all those videos. And in this video again I will discuss with you new tricks about your GPAT exam. So the first trick, you can remember that the short acting benzodiazepines are, you can remember it by tolls. So tolls are the slides which are useful as protective. So on the words of tolls, you can remember T indicate triazolam, O indicate oxazepam, L indicate lorazepam, E indicate estazolam, and S, that is the short acting drugs. So basically you know that these are benzodiazepines, and these benzodiazepines acts on the GABA receptor and GABA dependent upon the chloride channel and responsible for the hyperpolarization. So this hyperpolarization will useful as a due to its sedative property, due to its muscle relaxant, and due to its relaxation of the central cortex. So that's why they are used as antidepressant, they are used as sedative, they are used as a muscle relaxant. And even though it is the another question in the GPAT that benzodiazepine have a good plasma protein binding, itself you can say that it is more than 90%. So that the drug with a more plasma protein binding will be having a good action in your body, as well as you can say it will be a less toxic due to less availability of the free drug in the body side. So this is the trick that you can remember. Another question is, in Addison disease drug to be given is hydrocortisones, betamethasones, prednisolone, and DOCA, decarboxy, deoxycarboxylic acid, that is a salt which is used to induce the hypertension. So basically I will tell you that this is a DOCA salt. This DOCA salt basically act used in the animal model to create a model of hypertension. First thing, how? By increasing the level of cortisols. So by increasing the level of cortisols, DOCA at a dose of 200 to 400 mg to the animals, either orally or any other route, it cause increase in the blood pressure, and that's why this is used as a model for checking the efficacy of antihypertensive drug preclinically. So another is the right option for this question is hydrocortisone. You know that in case of Addison disease, what happens? There is a altered secretion of cortisols, that is cortisones, hydrocortisones. So from the adrenal gland. So this adrenal gland which is present over the kidney side, which is a triangular shaped gland, and this gland secrete a cortisones, hydrocortisones. So these cortisones, they are responsible for some of the action or maintaining the blood volume and blood pressure in the body. But altered level of these cortisones, that is responsible for Addison disease. So hydrocortisone is used in this condition at a dose of 10 to 20 mg per kg orally, because this hydrocortisone will maintain the altered level of the cortisols in the body. So this is the right answer for this question. Next question is, which of the following antifungal drug can be used in the treatment of Cushing syndrome? The options are ketoconazole, fluconazole, itraconazole, and miconazole. So you choose the right answer, antifungal drug for the Cushing syndrome. So the antifungal drug for the Cushing syndrome is ketoconazole. So this ketoconazole act by destroying the various fungals which grow, that is by the mechanism of leakage of the fluid from the membrane side, and that ketoconazole, itraconazole, fluconazole they kill the fungus organism by this making a pore on the membrane side. So this is the right answer for this question. All of the following decrease bone resorption in the osteoporosis except alendronate, etidronate, strontium, and tacrolimus. So right answer is tacrolimus. That tacrolimus not decrease the bone resorption in osteoporosis. So these are the drugs: alendronate, etidronate, strontium. These are the drug, they are useful in case of osteoporosis, that is due to the postmenopausal cycles in the females as well as in some males, and this drug increase the level of calcium and calcium absorption in the bone site. Now next question is, both decreased bone resorption and increased bone formation is caused by strontium ranelate, ibadronate, and teriparatide, and calcitonin. So you choose the right answer from this: strontium ranelate and ibadronate and teriparatide and calcitonin. The right answer for this is that the decrease bone resorption, increase bone formation. The right answer is strontium ranelate. So this strontium ranelate, it inhibit the calcium release from the bone side. It could be due to increase age, it could be due to deficiency of calcium in the body, and it could be due to overuse of some diuretics. So this is the drug which is the right answer for this question. The next question is, the effect of thiopental on the CNS is quickly terminated by because of rapid metabolism in the CNS, quick first pass metabolism, redistribution, and rapid metabolism in the systemic circulation. You choose the right answer for this question. The right answer for this question is redistribution. So you know that this thiopental sodium, which is a well known and useful anesthetic drug, and it is also preferred in case of preclinical studies whenever anybody want to do a surgery in case of animal. So thiopental for the surgery in animal used as a dose of 80 mg per kg intraperitoneally, and it is a good lipophilic drug. It is a lipophilic. This is the first property of the drug. Second, it cross the CA blood brain barrier, enter in the CNS. This is the second property of the drug. Third, it act on the GABA A and open the chloride channel, responsible for its anesthesia or relaxation or decrease nerve impulse conduction. Now next is, it is action in the CNS is very fast terminated because of its redistribution. So what happen in the peripheral tissues? It is redistributed in the adipose tissue. So that's why the person or the animal in which the level of fat is more, they are obese. The redistribution of the thiopental is more here in this case, and they will become active very fast. They will become conscious. The reason behind is redistribution of the thiopental lipophilic drug into the peripheral adipose tissue. So this is the right answer for this question. The next trick, which is a new for you all, how you remember drug having activity against both HIV and HBV. So HIV, human immunodeficiency virus, and HBV is a hepatitis B virus. So you remember it by left word. L mean lamivudine, E mean emtricitabine, and F is a 2FLD4C. This is a molecule which is in the clinical trial too, and it is crossed the clinical trial too, and it is used for this both things. and T indicate tenofovir. So this tenofovir, 2-FLDC, emtricitabine, and lamivudine, these are the drugs which you remember by the name of left, and they are useful for the treatment of HIV and along with the patient with comorbid condition, that is the hepatitis B virus infection. Next question is, all of the following benzodiazepine can be used in elder and those with liver disease except. Options are lorazepam, oxazepam, triazolam, and diazepam. You choose the right answer, that which one of the benzodiazepine is can be used in elder and those with liver disease except. The right option is diazepam. So you know that I have discussed with you that diazepam is a type of benzodiazepine which act on the GABA receptor and responsible for the hyperpolarization. And there are two things. That first thing, the benzodiazepine at higher dose not preferred in the elder patients, because in case of elder patient the GFR is reduced and the action of benzodiazepine will be more in case of elder patients, elder persons as compared to young person. This is the first thing. The second thing, if you will give a benzodiazepine to the person who is suffering from liver disease, it increase the level of SGPT, so which is also called as ALT. So this increase in the level of ALT, SGPT in the liver might be due, it cause or it potentiate liver cirrhosis, or it potentiate hepatotoxicity, or it can create a cardiovascular disease. So that's why you should prefer benzodiazepine very carefully in case of these persons. Next question is, which of the following agent bind to GABA receptor chloride channel complex? Options are ethanol, that is alpha zolone, zolpidem, and buspirone. So you check which drug or which particular agent from these all bind with GABA receptor. The right option is zolpidem. So zolpidem, jopicolone, these are called as atypical type of antipsychotic. They are used, they act on the benzodiazepine receptor. Again, they open the chloride channel and they are used as antidepressant, antipsychotic, sedative, and muscle relaxants. So this is the right option for this question. Next question is, which of the following drug is contraindicated in acute intermittent porphyria? The right option is thiopentone, midazolam, propofol, and etomidate. So you choose the right answer in case of porphyria. In case of porphyria, this is the condition where there is a deficiency of porphyrin. So in case of whenever the patient suffer from low hemoglobin level, where the hemoglobin is low or its formation is low, where the heme plus porphyrin group are there. So this porphyrin, which cause acute intermittent porphyria, deficiency of porphyrin reduce the hemoglobin content in the body free from porphyrin. And the right option this for this question is thiopental sodium. The reason behind is, if you give a thiopental sodium, this thiopental sodium reduce the porphyrin formation as well as its availability in the blood side, its absorption toward the blood side. So this thiopental sodium drug is most probably be contraindicated. The second most reason, powerful reason for this is thiopental at a higher dose cause respiratory depression. So you always remember that whenever anybody use thiopental as an anesthetic for the animal, it should not be given more than 80 mg per kg IP, because of this reason. Animal will show shivering, first thing, and second, the death of animal will be due to the depression of the respiratory center. So this is a right answer for this question. The next question is, which of the following, if combined with rivastigmine, decrease its efficacy? Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, reversible inhibitor of MAO monoenzyme oxidase A, tricyclic antidepressants, and atypical antidepressants. So you choose the right answer where you will combine with rivastigmine and decrease its efficacy. The right answer is tricyclic antidepressant. So the reason behind is these tricyclic antidepressants are the enzyme inducers like CYP3A, like CYP450. So these are the enzyme responsible for the drug metabolism in the liver side. So whenever their level will be increased, they will very fast metabolize the rivastigmine. And when you know rivastigmine, which is an anticholinesterase, so whenever the rivastigmine will very fastly metabolize by these enzymes, its efficacy or the effect will be reduced. So this is the reason behind these type of the drug. So next question is, peripheral vasospasm is observed with which of the following anti-Parkinson drug? So the options are ropinirole, levodopa, bromocriptine, and entacapone, which is a COMT inhibitor, catechol O-methyl transferase inhibitor. So you choose the right answer which cause vasospasm. The right answer is bromocriptine. So you know that how it cause vasospasm. I will tell you some of the basic mechanism, that there are few properties of the bromocriptine. The first property, that bromocriptine not to be given to the pregnant women because it produce a PD-like symptom in the baby. It not to be given to the women's feeding milk to the baby because it reduce the milk production. The second thing. Third thing, it does not give along with the antihypertensive drug because it increase the level of serotonin and adrenaline. So by increasing the level of serotonin and adrenaline, it cause constriction of peripheral arterioles and small arteries. And due to constriction of these arterioles and small arteries, whereas venules, small veins, it is responsible for peripheral vasospasm. So this is the property of the bromocriptine, you always remember. So this is the next new trick for you all. Fast acting erythrocytic schizontocidal drugs. The drug which damage to the schizontocytes, that is the organisms, you know, which are responsible for the infection, like you know where Plasmodium typhi, Plasmodium falciparum, these exist at the early larva stage as a schizontocytes. So the drug which damage or kill the schizontocyte are called as schizontocidal drugs. How you remember? Remember it by Champ. So Champ, you know, it was a boxer. He was a boxer as a champ. So on the basis of Champ, C indicate chloroquine, antimalarial, H indicate halofentrin, A indicate artemisinin, A indicate otovaconone, and M indicate mefloquine, and P indicate plasmodium kill by quinine. So you remember it, Champ as a chloroquine, halofentrin, artemisinin, otovacone, and mefloquine and quinine. So these are the drugs which are fast acting erythrocytic schizontocidal drugs. So hope these all new tricks as well as the basic explanation about the GPAT will be very useful for you all. You always like, more, share and subscribe the channel so that everybody can get benefits, and in the coming time I will discuss more videos with you all. So thank you very much and welcome to SSB Pharma Learning Channel.